Hello, friends. Samuel Graham doing TCGs yet again. Flesh and blood, but a product I have not yet gotten my hands on, so I'm actually pretty excited to see this. We got History Pack 1. This is the white border reprints of cards from the first three Flesh and Blood sets. So there are some selected cards from Welcome to Wraith, Arcane Rising, and Crucible of War that come in this product from Legend Story Studios. Bigger box than usual for Flesh and Blood. There are actually 36 packs in here. They are 10 card packs, much like the supplemental sets. But really, I think just trying to get staple cards in people's hands that might have missed those sets. And I know, especially for the worldwide, the international, non-US markets, they also did a black border version of this that came with some really cool foil treatments, like the Marvel treatment for some of the old heroes for the people who hadn't gotten them in their language yet or had just not had super high access to the original sets. So it's one of those things that people have looked at this particular product and been like, why do we need this? And people have pointed out on the regular, and I think it's a super important point in the long run. It's ultimately, for those of us in the US market, we got it, yes, but it wasn't really for us. It was much more for, man, that is, I'm going to see if turning my, that's crazy. So turning my lamp off actually helps. The white border and such strong white on it actually, the light that usually helps on my camera. Oh, it's kind of working with it now. Let's see how that goes, because that does look better as long as the text is readable. So this is kind of supplemental set style. 10 card packs with the good stuff in the back. But like you can already see, this is a Crucible of War card. This, I believe, is Welcome to Wraith. I always forget if this is Crucible or Arcane. There are some of them that I get confused which set is which. But it's interesting to see the whiteboard. I know some people just hate the whiteboard. Like, that's Welcome to Wraith. That's a Welcome to Wraith piece of equipment. That's a warrior staple for sure. But this is so fun. So to me, I'm coming from old, like I played 90s. All right, so we got a white border, the Kasai hero, and a take cover in our first pack. So I come from the old school of, what's the best way to open these? These don't open quite like any of the other sets. They're a bit stingy up top. Like, I don't, these packs are just different. That's interesting. They're just built differently. But I'm from like the 90s school of CCGs, where, like, thinking the Star Wars CCG or even like early Magic, Blue Razor Reflex, Come to Fight. There's a card I know, Steelblade Shunt for the Warrior, and Flick Flack for the Ninja. Where, you would have the Star Wars CCG, the first set did this for sure, and then eventually several other sets also added revised / unlimited later on. But they would do their limited edition, first edition black border, and then later release a white border version of it. So to me, this is a super nostalgic thing for me. I know some people are like, the white border's ugly or whatever. All right, there's our first Majestic, a Tome of Fyendal. but for me, it is extreme nostalgia to get these white border cards. Like I've been itching to get my hands on some, so I'm glad to finally have it. And this will probably not be the last of it that I dig into. Um, just because I'm also from the old school. I'm going to say this is old school, but I feel like this is just kind of a thing. So it's a trading card game, also known as a collectible card game, which means that I am a degenerate and want to catch them all. There's Talishar and Warrior's Valor. It is super funny to be opening this though and seeing all these cards that I know are from different sets. Like Talishar's Crew, that's Welcome to Wraith. That's Welcome to Wraith. Like it's just funny to me opening all this and seeing stuff that super comes Arcane Rising, Scar for a Scar. Just coming from different places. It's very funny to me. Grud Snatch it in bed. Not usually what I'm trying to play, but still not bad. This is so fun though. Like such a nostalgic trip to the old white border later editions of card games. Just love it. 36. Yeah, so I just glanced back to make sure that there were 36 and that is accurate. I feel like we're not quite a quarter of the way through yet, but we're getting close. There's our second Majestic. That is Beast Within. That's a Crucible of War Majestic. So yeah, again, that's the same kind of thing. So now we've got a... Is that Crucible of War? I think that's Crucible of War. Majestics from two different sets. It's just so funny to me to go through and see in the same pack, there's Copper, the different cards from different sets. Disable and Overpower. I guess we're a little over a quarter of the way now. Just based on pack height. Helm of Eisen's Peak. Red Pummel. Aether Conduit. It's just funny to see, again, different sets with their rares just back to back here. This is such a good concept. Like, I feel like people would not have had the reaction they did to this set if instead of, oh, heyo, there's one. So I actually actively wanted this card. Because I play a Dorinthia deck that has Courage of Bladehold in it, but I don't have non-foil or rainbow foil. The only one I have is a cold foil, and I don't want to carry that with me to events, so this just landed a slot in my deck. It may not be as shiny, but I would rather not be hauling my cold foil Courage around. So that has earned itself a place in my deck as Majestic number 3, Courage of Bladehold. I love to see it. Crane Dancing, Yellow Sigil. But yeah, so if this had come out instead of Unlimited, and maybe that's what they do now, is, you know, since with Uprising, they kind of did away Bullseye Bracers. It's a good... It feels weird saying good Ranger card since nobody thinks Ranger's good, but hey, Energy Potion. So they'll print Uprising until they don't feel like they need to anymore, and then eventually there will be one of these white border sets that includes Uprising cards. I feel like if they had just done that originally, nobody would have taken issue with this set. But the fact that they're like, oh, we already have a ton of Unlimited, why do we need this now too? again, not just the US market, Showtime. So that's another interesting thing because there were super rares in the first two sets. Cards that were super rare are now majestic because Showtime was a super rare. In this set, it is majestic. But you know, ooh, Endless Arrow for a majestic number 4 or 5 actually. I was still thinking of Showtime as a super rare, even though I was just talking about that. You know, it's just one of those things that I don't necessarily think they knew exactly how Unlimited or this set were going to be taken. So, you know, obviously some people weren't super fond of the way they chose to handle it. Oh, that's the other thing. So the US version of this, the United States white border English version, does not have foils. So you may have noticed I have pulled no foils. That's why. There's my Galdori. Sorry, Thea. I'm trying to get it right. The stuff refers to her as Thea. I know people went Dory because it's easy. It's the first part of her name. I'm trying to get it right. Her name is Thea. So it's not like it was a catastrophic decision, I don't think, to a couple of rares. Change that up. I just feel like as far as perception, as far as reaction, it would have gone over better. Because there was still just so much. You know, all the sets, another bullseye, all the sets that had unlimited, there's still a pretty decent chunk of unlimited out there. I don't know, maybe not Arcane Rising, and I haven't really paid attention to Crew. But Welcome to Wraith is pretty easy to find, which is funny to me. I would have kind of thought it was the opposite way. Take cover in Aether Spindle. I sort of would have expected the opposite, frankly. To have Welcome to Wraith harder to find. All right, there's a white border Teklo core for our next majestic. Number 6. It's a dash specialization. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember what the general pull rate for majestics is. I'm not even 3/4 of the way through this, and I've already got 6. I want to say people were saying roughly 8 or 9, but I don't remember that for sure. As I pull number 7, Remorseless. Ranger arrow attack. Getting some good, and another energy potion, funny. Some good Ranger, two majestic arrows, Endless Arrow and Remorseless. Like to see that. Ranger is sort of one of the, I want to see Ranger do well. I really do. Specifically Azalea, but overpowering cognition nodes. Specifically Azalea. But I want to see her do better than she has. Best of the first fist. Sonic Boom. Majestic number 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yep. And Take Aim is a rare right behind it. So that's one cool thing, I guess, about there being 36 packs is, like, if you're hunting the majestics that are in here, like, you're getting a bunch of majestics. Like, that's another thing that I think is pretty neat about this. You just get a bunch of cool cards. We have all those cards. Well, I mean, not everybody does. It's not all... A, it's not all about the United States players. And B, it's not all... All right, E-Strike. Majestic number 9, and that's another really good one. Heck yeah. It's not all about the United States players, and really, it's not all about me either. Because just because I might have more or less all I need of any of these cards. Hey, there's my gal Azalea Ace in the Hole, the adult version. Doesn't mean everybody does. There's KO and Pedal to the Metal for a couple more rares. So yeah, I haven't seen a legendary, which there are a few of those. No fableds in these either, but there are a few legendaries. There's Majestic number 10, Tome of Aetherwind, with a Towering Titan red behind it. So yeah, it's just interesting, you know. Perspective is a difficult thing to break sometimes. Blessing of Deliverance and Savage Feast yellow. Just knowing that, you know, maybe you do, but maybe the guy down the street doesn't. Disable and Cindering Foresight. So it's all right if a product comes out that isn't for you. I've said this many times. Like I've looked at comic books that I really liked the writer, and I picked up the comic book, and I'm just like, Dash. Ooh, knock the death whistle for another good Ranger Majestic. I think that's number 11 for Majestics, where I picked up a comic book, and I'm like, I know this is competently written. I like this author. Like, I know they did a good job. Like, this is fine. It's just, I don't personally love it. And I don't have to love everything that's out there. I can say, you know what? This isn't for me, but I'm glad somebody enjoys it without poo-pooing on it. I've said this about card games too, which there are some that it's hard for me on, depending on, you know, some of the reasons I may not like things. Katsu. Flick, Flack, and Cindering. 3 packs left. See if we've got another Majestic or even a Legendary still to come. Well, there is another Majestic. Steelblade Supremacy. It's just one of those things, I guess, where it's like, you know what? Not everything has to be for me. I don't have to like everything that's out there. Blackout Kick. I forget about that card. That was one of the first pieces of card art that I was like, that's really cool. Last pack, y'all. Like, do I want everything for me? Yeah, sure. That's part of being a selfish human, I guess. Kano, Plunder Run, and Steelblade Shunt Yellow. But it doesn't have to be. Like, it just doesn't, and it's okay to not. Okay, y'all. So, say what you will. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I kind of like the white border thing. I kind of like the nostalgia, the throwback nature of having these white border cards as a, you know, a deeper product that's just kind of a, hey, here's just stuff to get cards in your hand. But this is fun. Like opening this box, I think this is 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 Majestics. I got Majestics from like Welcome to Wraith, Arc, Wraith. But like for crew from every set I got Majestics from in this product, and I got 12 of them out of 36. I mean, that's about right, the conversion. I mean, it was always about 6 in the earlier sets. With Uprising, it's kind of about 8, 6 to 8. So 12 out of 36 packs versus, you know, 8 or 6 out of 24. This is a pretty good Majestic, right? And it's just fun to see all these different cards popping out of it. I really enjoy this product. Having finally gotten my hands on it, I will get more because I'm a degenerate with issues and I want to catch them all, as it were. But this is fun. I really enjoy it. There's, like I say, there's the memories, the nostalgia, and just it's fun to get more cards in your hand and have different treatments. Um, for somebody who likes collecting, having something else to collect, even if it's the same cards, it's just fun. And then with the rest, I can build decks and see if more people want to play, which is also fun. But thank you very much for checking this out with me. Again, this was History Pack 1 for Flesh and Blood from Legend Story Studios. It's been out for a hot minute. I just haven't gotten any yet. Um, just another cool, newer product from them to kind of get older cards more readily into people's hands, which I just think is a blast. Thank you very much for your time. Like and subscribe if you do, in fact, like what I'm doing here. And if not, thanks for your time anyway. I really do legitimately appreciate you spending some of your day with me. There's so many things you could be doing with your time, so I try not to take it for granted. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, y'all.